Story synopsis. My best friend invited me to go see male models, so I decisively decided to call in sick, taking a day off to go to the rendezvous point. After returning home, I happily posted photos with the handsome guys from today on my social circle. The next morning, I woke up, picked up my phone, and saw 99 plus messages on the screen. I was so startled that I jumped out of bed. Trembling, I opened WeChat, realizing they were all from colleagues. After reading the content, I froze. Damn, are you and Director Murphy dating? Cathy Lewis, what's going on with you and Director Murphy? Have you seen his comment on your social circle post? I hurriedly opened yesterday's post on my social circle, having forgotten to hide Director Murphy from it. He commented below, "You faked being sick to take time off and go see these crude men. Am I not as handsome as them?" 1. Late at night, I was at the office working overtime to revise a plan. In such a large company, only a few of us employees were left working overtime, along with Director Murphy in his office. Just then, Vanessa Myers suddenly called. As soon as I answered, the other end erupted in screams. "Guess what? Your sister got rich overnight, ha ha ha. I won $500,000 on the lottery." After hearing that, I quietly hung up. This girl is always tricking me. Once before, she even fooled me into thinking she'd won $5 million. I actually believed it back then and almost decided to quit my job to spend money with her. A moment later, Vanessa Myers sent a screenshot showing her bank account balance. 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000. It really was $500,000. I also earned that much after working for several years, so I absolutely must not be jealous. I was about to say something when she sent another voice message. "Ask Director Murphy for a day off. I'll take you to find male models." How funny. Do I look like the type of woman who likes to stare at handsome men? Yes, I am. When are we going? Tonight, actually. We'll play through until tomorrow night. I didn't care whether she had actually won the lottery or not. I'd be the loser if I didn't go. I just wanted to figure out how to ask for leave. 2. I knocked on Director Murphy's office door, holding my forehead as if I was feeling very unwell. "Director Murphy, I think I'm sick. My head feels very dizzy right now. Could I ask for?" Before I could finish my sentence, I was stunned by the man sitting in the office chair. Oh my God. The bald Director Murphy had transformed into a super handsome guy overnight. Wait, this handsome guy seemed to be my childhood friend, Daniel Murphy, who had been abroad for many years. At this moment, he assessed me with a humorous gaze, as if saying, "Keep up the act." Although I didn't know why he was here, I could only brazenly continue to pretend, stumbling my way to stand before him. "Why are you here?" Daniel Murphy said indifferently, "This company belongs to my father. He's handed it over to me to manage now." Director Murphy, I'd like to ask for a day off." "Reason?" "Don't you realize I'm already this sick?" Daniel Murphy considered for a moment, then nodded and said, "All right, then go home quickly and rest to recover." He just agreed like that. I thought he'd give me a hard time, especially since I used to tease him so often. 3. Thinking back to before. Daniel Murphy and I often played together since childhood. Coincidentally, we were in the same class in elementary, middle, and high school, and we always sat very close to each other, either at the same desk or right in front or behind each other. Daniel Murphy's personality was quite shy, introverted, and especially easily embarrassed, so I loved to tease him. I would often take advantage of him napping on his desk to secretly braid his hair into pigtails. When classmates walked by and saw the small braids on Daniel Murphy's head, they would start laughing at him. But after he woke up and realized he'd been pranked, he wouldn't get angry, he'd just blush. After graduating from high school, Daniel Murphy's family arranged for him to study abroad, while I chose to study domestically. From then on, we gradually lost touch. Now he had shed his youthful appearance, becoming mature and composed, and had even become my boss. I heard that while abroad, Daniel Murphy had built a successful career based on his own abilities, becoming a renowned newcomer in the business world. Although I don't want to praise him, he is indeed a very promising young man now. Sigh, he really is the neighbor's successful child my mom used to talk about. 4. After getting the approval, I quickly went home and started picking out clothes for the outing. In the end, I chose a sexy outfit that I had always been too timid to wear outside. After I finished doing my makeup, Vanessa Myers had already driven to my building. When I ran downstairs, I saw she had rented a sports car. Could this girl really have won the lottery? Seeing me come out, Vanessa Myers's eyes lit up, and she took off her sunglasses. Girl, you look amazing in that outfit. Why don't you usually dress like this? I chuckled, opened the car door, and got in. Let's go quickly. Time to look at handsome guys. Okay, today I'll definitely let you have your fill, all right. 5. On stage, the handsome men were dancing shirtless, and one puppy-like guy even winked at me, making me very shy. After they finished dancing, 4 handsome guys walked towards us. Ladies, would you like to take a picture with us? I handed my phone to Vanessa Myers, asking her to take a group photo of me with the handsome guys. She glanced at me and reluctantly agreed. The 4 handsome guys split up and stood on either side of me. Outwardly, I was calm, posing beautifully, but inside, I was already incredibly excited. This trip was absolutely worth it. After taking the photos, my eyes felt like they were about to be blinded by the dazzling flash. Vanessa Myers returned my phone. I scrolled through hundreds of photos in the album, picking out a few that could be photoshopped, planning to edit them at home, and then post them on my social circle. Hey, hurry up. I want to take some pictures too. I took Vanessa Myers's phone and started taking pictures seriously, almost lying on the ground to get a few satisfactory shots. Amazing, Cathy Lewis, I have to reward you. With that, she transferred $5,000 to me. At that moment, I wanted to kneel down right there. Sister, you're my only sister. 6. After arriving home, I happily posted the photos I had photoshopped to my social circle. The next morning, I woke up, picked up my phone, and saw 99 plus messages on the screen. I was so startled that I jumped out of bed. Trembling, I opened WeChat, realizing they were all from colleagues. After reading the content, I froze. Damn, are you and Director Murphy dating? Cathy Lewis, what's going on with you and Director Murphy? Have you seen his comment on your social circle post? I hurriedly opened yesterday's post on my social circle, having forgotten to hide Director Murphy from it. He commented below, "You faked being sick to take time off and go see these crude men. Am I not as handsome as them?" I couldn't deny it. Daniel Murphy was indeed very handsome, more handsome than those male models. In high school, he was recognized by the entire school as the campus heartthrob. His face really made everyone jealous. When I was little, the main reason I was willing to play with him was because he was very dashing. Before I could even clearly figure out what his comment meant, Daniel Murphy video called me. I quickly pressed to decline the call. If he saw me looking messy and disheveled, having just woken up, he'd probably tease me for the rest of my life. After thinking for a moment, I typed a message and sent it. "What's up? My day off from yesterday isn't over yet." Daniel Murphy sent a voice message. "Why did you lie to me about being sick? And go look for those crude men. If you like handsome guys, isn't looking at me enough." 7. After hearing that voice message, the expressions on my face couldn't be fully represented by a pie chart. What did he mean? That he liked me? I didn't believe it, no way. Even if it were true, we couldn't date. Ever since I was little, I felt that love was unreliable. Men, I could like them, but dating was out of the question. Holding onto this belief, I had never been in love before. Although I really wanted to stop reading and not reply, continuing like this wasn't an option. Just when I didn't know what to do, an idiom suddenly popped into my head. Play dumb. Not enough, and besides, they're not crude men, they're male gods. He sent another voice message, his voice sounding a little helpless. Do you really not understand what I mean? I understand. You think you're more handsome than them. I sent the message, and for a long time there was no reply from the other end. He seemed to have been provoked, but that was fine. It saved me from having to figure out how to avoid the situation. It's just, tomorrow at work will be miserable. I've mentally prepared myself to be swarmed by colleagues asking questions as soon as I walk into the company. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. 8. Perhaps because I didn't get proper rest yesterday, I was very sleepy today. I guessed Daniel Murphy wouldn't reply to my message, so I lay down and fell asleep. My head throbbed as if it were about to split open. I picked up my phone, and sure enough, there were 99 plus messages again, all from Daniel Murphy. 12:00 Cathy Lewis. 12:20 Don't play dumb. 13:00 I came back to the country because of you. I like you. 14:03 You know, seeing your photos with those men, I was very envious. 14:05 Do you really like that type of man? 14:10 Come back to work, I want to see you. 15:00 Pay attention to me, please. It wasn't until the last message that my heart couldn't help but pound. Open the door. Disregarding how terrible I looked having just woken up, I slipped on my sandals and went to the door. After opening the door, I immediately saw Daniel Murphy's cheeks, now flushed red, and the faint smell of alcohol lingered in the air. He buried his head in the hollow of my neck, his breath hot and ticklish against my skin. Why didn't you reply to my messages? It was really upsetting not waiting for your messages. I really like you. I quickly changed the subject. Did you drink? You know you're a one-drink wonder, yet you still drank. I gently pushed Daniel Murphy away, but he gripped my wrists tightly. Sis, could you like me, even just a little bit? My heart trembled violently, and my words came out haltingly. You're older than me, why are you calling me sis? The next second, his warm lips pressed tightly against mine, and our two hot breaths mingled. 9. After reacting, I pushed him away with all my strength, panting. Are you sick? I glared at Daniel Murphy, feeling both embarrassed and angry. He laughed, he actually laughed. I was furious, relentlessly punching his chest, but he seemed to get even happier. I want to marry you. I froze. In this moment, Daniel Murphy looked completely sober, with none of the drunken appearance from earlier. I asked, unsure, were you pretending to be drunk? His face was full of innocence. Sis, I never said I was drunk, you just assumed that. I was provoked into a laugh, staring into his serious eyes. I asked, all right, what do you like about me? When did you start liking me? How long have you liked me? Daniel Murphy was about to answer when I cut him off. I want you to write a 1,000-word essay to explain it clearly. He was startled, lowered his eyes, a corner of his mouth twitched, and his gentle voice echoed in my ear. 1,000 words. That's too little, how about 5,000 words? My mouth hung open. I didn't know what to say. Did he really like me that much? I was too emotional just now. I apologize. Daniel Murphy suddenly apologizing, conversely, made me even more at a loss for what to do. I'll send you the short essay a bit later. You haven't eaten yet, have you? I originally came to see you this time to bring you some snacks. He picked up the bag next to the wall. It was filled with my favorite snacks. Thanks. Seeing the food, I completely forgot what had just happened. I hugged the bag and ran back to my room. I'd slept all day today without eating. I was about to starve to death. Outside the door, Daniel Murphy watched my retreating figure, smiling faintly. After helping me close the door, he returned to the company. 10. After devouring all the snacks, I realized Daniel Murphy had already left. The image of Daniel Murphy kissing me just now flashed through my mind. I immediately blushed, fell back onto the bed, and covered my face with a pillow. That was my first kiss, AAA. After calming down, I called Vanessa Myers. She answered very quickly. After I told Vanessa Myers what had happened today, she was very excited. "Girl, you're finally about to escape singledom." I yelled, "What are you talking about? I don't like him. Escape singledom my foot." Vanessa Myers clicked her Murphy twice and said with a suspicious tone, "Are you sure, Cathy Lewis? Before, when people confessed to you, you weren't this shy. You always put on a cold face and never said an extra word to anyone you weren't interested in." "That's because others didn't force a kiss on me like Daniel Murphy did. Wouldn't you be embarrassed if someone forced a kiss on you?" She sighed softly. "If you didn't have feelings for Daniel Murphy, you wouldn't even have opened the door for him." I fell silent. Indeed, I wouldn't open the door for someone who pursued me if I didn't like them. "All right, think about it yourself. What exactly do you feel for him?" "I think highly of him." With that, Vanessa Myers hung up. I sat on the bed, looking at the turned-off phone screen, lost in thought. I admit, I did have feelings for Daniel Murphy, and not just a little bit. When did I start having these feelings? I don't remember anymore, certainly not just now. Perhaps it was from when we used to play. He'd let me hit him but never hit back, and he'd even smile and ask if my hand hurt. Or perhaps when we sat at the same desk, he'd rest his chin in his hand, gazing intently at me, and when I caught him, he'd try to act calm and turn his head away, which was very strange, but I found it a little cute. Since high school, I had started to develop unusual feelings for him, but I just didn't want to admit it, nor did I believe in love. Perhaps love isn't so bad after all. I thought maybe I could give it a try. 11. Just as I was hesitating whether to proactively message Daniel Murphy, he sent several photos first. I opened them immediately, and what met my eyes was a page densely covered with writing. He actually wrote a 5,000-word essay, and by hand. It turned out that in his eyes, I was so wonderful. Tears fell from my eyes without me realizing, dropping onto the screen. I quickly wiped them dry with a tissue and slowly typed into the chat box, "I like you too." As soon as I sent the message, the text, "The other person is typing," appeared in the chat box repeatedly, making me burst out laughing. Perhaps feeling that words weren't enough to express his emotions at that moment, he video called me. After I answered, his handsome face appeared on the screen. He reluctantly restrained his inner excitement, holding it back for a long time before finally saying one sentence. "Cathy Lewis, let's get married." I listened in silence, slowly shaking my head. I'm not fully ready. Jumping straight from liking to marriage, it's not ideal. Daniel Murphy's tone was a little disappointed. It is indeed too fast. I was impulsive. But I'm already very happy that you like me. I respect your thoughts. I sat up straight, my expression sincere. I'm not ready for marriage yet, but I am ready to date you. Daniel Murphy, are you willing to be my boyfriend? His previously dim eyes lit up again. I am willing, very willing. See you. My eyes curved, and I gave him a sweet smile. Daniel Murphy smiled softly. Okay. 13. The next day, when I woke up, it was already 10 o'clock. I looked at the dozens of missed calls on my screen and fell into deep thought. There were calls from my parents, from Vanessa Myers, and even from Daniel Murphy. My parents and Vanessa Myers would definitely ask about Daniel Murphy and me, so I decisively created a WeChat group and added everyone, including Daniel Murphy. The group quickly became lively. Dad, Cathy Lewis, who is that man in your social circle post? Mom, is it little Murphy? Dad, who's little Murphy? Mom, it's that boy who used to play with Cathy Lewis when she was little. Perhaps because my parents were there, Vanessa Myers didn't dare to speak up, and Daniel Murphy also said nothing. Me, Mom and Dad, it's Daniel Murphy. He and I are dating. Dad, didn't that boy just come back to the country? He just got back and is already dating you. Daniel Murphy, Uncle, I came back to the country because of her. Dad, little Murphy, you like my daughter now, but what about later? People often say marrying into a rich family is like entering a deep sea. Our family is just an ordinary one, and I'm afraid Cathy Lewis will suffer if she follows you. Daniel Murphy. Uncle, my love for Cathy Lewis will only grow, never diminish. Please rest assured, I will definitely not let her suffer any grievances. Mom, what about your family? Daniel Murphy. My family all likes Cathy Lewis very much. Auntie, please rest assured, if they didn't like her, I wouldn't be seeing her anymore. After a few minutes, my mom replied, You must treat our Cathy Lewis well. Vanessa Myers sent me a private message. He's so good to you. Did your parents agree to him? You two should just get married already. I'll fight for you two until the end. After seeing these words, a warm current surged through my heart, and I unconsciously curved the corners of my mouth. Amidst my emotions, I suddenly remembered I had to go to work today, and I was already 2 hours late. I quickly got up, dressed simply, and ran downstairs to catch a ride to the company. Just as I tapped on the ride-hailing app, my eyes caught sight of a black car slowly approaching, stopping right in front of me. The car window rolled down, revealing Daniel Murphy's joyful, toothy grin and reproaching face. Finally remembered you have to go to work, huh? Get in, he teased. I smiled without saying anything, opened the passenger door, and got into the car. Haven't eaten yet, Daniel Murphy turned his head and asked me. I nodded. Let's go, let's eat first. If I'm late, will you deduct my salary? I asked him. Daniel Murphy raised a hand and pinched my cheek. Of course not. 14. After eating, it was already 11 o'clock when we arrived at the company. Although I felt that not having my salary deducted for being late wasn't fair to other employees, I was still very happy. Daniel Murphy put his arm around me and introduced me to the colleagues. This is everyone's boss lady. Hello, boss lady. The colleagues laughed and said in unison. I froze, utterly mortified. Had Daniel Murphy read too many domineering CEO novels? Hey, I'm going to work now. I tugged at his coat, and only then did he let me go. If work gets tiring, tell me, and I'll move you to a lighter position. Daniel Murphy patted my head, then turned and left. After he left, the colleagues immediately started chattering. Cathy Lewis, how did you and Director Murphy get together? I'm so envious. If my husband were also the boss, that would be great. I'd go straight to his company to work and wouldn't get scolded even if I did nothing all day. I smiled. Don't worry, I won't slack off and drag everyone down just because he's my boyfriend. On the contrary, I'll work even harder. 15. After work, Daniel Murphy drove me to his house. Along the way, I was very nervous. What if his parents didn't like me? His house was very large. As soon as I stepped inside, a well-dressed, elegantly made-up lady greeted me. Is this Mom's future daughter-in-law? Oh my, she's so pretty. No wonder my son has liked you since he was little. Our son brought his girlfriend home. Daniel Murphy's father came out from the kitchen, carrying a tray of food in his hands. Come in and sit down quickly. His mother took my hand and led me to sit down on the sofa. Let me tell you, that boy Daniel Murphy has liked you since high school. Normally, he doesn't smile much, but one day after school, he came home beaming, and your aunt and I knew he had someone he liked. Daniel Murphy's father placed the tray on the table and said to me with a smile. That's right. It's a pity we sent him abroad to study after that. Otherwise, you two would have been dating for a long time, wouldn't you? Because of this, he didn't call us for a whole year after going abroad. It's a good thing you two are together now, or this kid would never forgive us for the rest of his life. Throughout the entire process, Daniel Murphy said nothing. He just smiled and looked at me. His mother suddenly took off the jade bracelet from her wrist, handed it to me, and said with a gentle, affectionate smile, Here, this is for you. I quickly waved my hand. No, I couldn't possibly take it. His mother, Take it. This boy, Daniel Murphy, only acknowledges one person in his life, and I also only acknowledge one daughter-in-law, which is you. You two must be truly happy. I was both touched and apprehensive. I looked at Daniel Murphy, and he nodded, signaling for me to accept it. I could only carefully take it and put it on my wrist. If possible, you two should get married soon. I want to hold my grandson early. A granddaughter would be best, beautiful and sensible. And I really don't want to raise another little Daniel Murphy. Daniel Murphy's mother patted my hand. Yes, I bowed my head, my heart stirring. I thought I had also recognized him as the one a long time ago. If it wasn't him, I wouldn't marry. If it wasn't him in the end, I wouldn't date anyone else in the future. 16. After stepping outside, I looked up at the sky. Daniel Murphy stood beside me, looking at me. I blurted out, "Shall we get married?" After saying it, my mind went blank. I didn't know why I suddenly wanted to marry him immediately, but I didn't regret saying it. Daniel Murphy also seemed to freeze. After reacting, he excitedly hugged me. Our eyes met, his filled with intense waves of affection. Yes. I proactively kissed him. He was stunned for a moment, then held the back of my neck to deepen the kiss. I had never believed that love could be passionate and long-lasting, but I had been conquered by him. He made me believe in the power of love. End of story.